Hello, welcome to Papa Nick's Music. I am, as always, your host, Papa Nick Lewis, and today we're kicking off a new series of videos. Today we're going to do a top 10 video. I can see a bunch of different things that I want to be able to talk about that don't really lend themselves to the album rankings or the perfect albums or the various video series that I've got going. And so top 10 is a way for me to do that. We might focus one week on a given artist like we're doing this week. We might focus on a particular musician. We might focus on a particular type of song. All sorts of things that we can do that don't involve going through the entire discography of the artist. And we're going to kick this off today with the top 10 songs by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I'm a big fan of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I'm a big fan, first off, of any band that has a horn section. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Chicago, Tower of Power. I love these things. And I really like Blood, Sweat, and Tears in part. There are three distinct periods to Blood, Sweat, and Tears' career. There's the first album that they released, Child is Father of the Man, where Al Kooper is the primary creative force. There are three albums that they released, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4, where David Clayton Thomas is the creative force of the band. And then there are albums that they released after David Clayton Thomas left that are, I've got them on these nifty CDs that have multiple albums on them. And you know that you're dealing with quality albums when they cram 3 or 4 of them onto one CD. So we're focusing on the David Clayton Thomas era here. That's the time frame of the band that I'm the most fond of. And I'm going to give you my top 10 Blood, Sweat, and Tears songs. Cool? Cool. Before we get into this, though, a word for our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Schofferhofer Beer. I love Schofferhofer. Ooh, it's good stuff. And when I say it's sponsored by Schofferhofer, it's not really sponsored by Schofferhofer. Schofferhofer has not given me any money, but part of me is hoping that the good folks at Schofferhofer will recognize, somebody put one of our beers in, maybe we need to send this guy some beer. Oh, that would be nice. Before we get into the top 10, though, the subjectivity notice. Artistic appreciation is an inherently subjective act. There's no such thing as objectively good or objectively bad music. There's only music that I like and music that I do not. And as long as we keep that in mind, this is a wonderful, happy, fun, informative conversation. I'm going to tell you that these are my favorite Blood, Sweat, and Tears songs. In no way suggesting that if you think other songs are better that I am right and you are wrong. No. These are my 10 favorites. Neither one of us is right, neither one of us is wrong. Don't go there. Okay. Now, let's get into the top 10. Well, actually, I'm cheating a little bit because I've actually got a top 11 because I'm adding an honorable mention here. I feel like if I don't include something from Child is Father of the Man, I'm going to have people, leaving flaming bags of dog shit on my front porch. So, I'm going to include a song from Child is Father of the Man. I will be honest and tell you right up front, I'm not particularly fond of this album. I'm not particularly fond of Al Kooper. Nothing against him. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. It's just this... But if I've got to pick a song off of this to include in my list, I'm going to pick I Can't Quit Her. So, coming in at number 11, we've got I Can't Quit Her from 1968's Child is Father of the Man. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Top 10 songs from the David Clayton Thomas years. Coming in at number 10 is a song from Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4, and that is Lisa, Listen to Me. I love this song. I can't explain why I love it, because there's nothing... There's nothing about it as I look at if I look at the objective features of the song, there's nothing about it that stands out as being particularly memorable or good or anything like that. All I know is that I will from time to time get the chorus of this song stuck in my head. and it will play on a loop. Lisa, listen to me, don't you know where you belong? He just on a loop, endlessly, like all day. Lisa, you can tell me you've been silent for too long. Okay, imagine there's a chicken in the background. That's what it would sound like. I'll get this chorus in a loop in my head all day long, and I'm okay with that. Usually, if I get something stuck in a loop in my head, it's like, oh God, give me a hammer, something. I need to get this thing out of my head. I don't have that with Lisa, Listen to Me. When it gets stuck in my head, that's pleasant background music. Number 10, Lisa, Listen to Me. Number 9. For number 9, I'm picking a song off of the Blood, Sweat, and Tears album. By the way, this, I would argue, is a perfect album, if we're keeping track of those at home. And the song that I'm picking off of this is Sometimes in Winter, written by Steve Katz, the guitarist for the band. He also performs the vocal. And it's a good song. His voice is a little on the jittery side. Sometimes in winter, it's got that kind of a sound to it. But overall, I really like the song. I think it's a pretty song. I enjoy listening to it. Number 9, Sometimes in Winter. Number 8. Of the David Clayton Thomas era, the album that I'm the least fond of is Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3. There's like maybe 4 songs on here that I think are decent, and the rest of it is stuff that can play in the background, and I'm not going to find it objectionable, but I'm not going to be really listening to it either. But I feel like I have to represent this album on my list. I can't have it all be from Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4. So my Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3 token song is number 8, Heidi Ho, written by Carole King and Jerry Goffin. It's a nifty little song. And it's at number 8. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Schofferhofer. Coming in at number 7. We're back to Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4. This album, I listened to a lot when I was a kid. I was aware of this thing when it was fresh. It was released in 1971. So that was about the time, I had a copy of it on cassette, but still. And I listened to it a lot. So this album is imprinted. I don't necessarily think it's a perfect album the way this one is, but this one is imprinted in my DNA more than this one is. And one of the songs that I really loved when I was a kid, and I still really like it, is Mama Gets High, written by Steve Katz and some other guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and this is not my first Schofferhofer, so I'm not going to try. But I really love the song, Mama Gets High. It's got a nice swing to it. Nifty song. Coming in at number 6, written by Berry Gordy and a bunch of people who I'm sure Berry Gordy stole the song from. Oh, wait, that's an almost libelous thing to say. So let's just say it was written by Berry Gordy and a bunch of people who stole the song from. It's off of the Blood, Sweat, and Tears album, and it is You've Made Me So Very Happy. Oh, I love that song. It's, of these, the song that I've heard the most. Can't swing a dead cat in some radio playlists on some oldie stations without hitting You've Made Me So Very Happy. But it's still a great song. I love You Made Me So Very Happy. Number 6. At number 5, we're back to Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4. And for number 5, we've got a song, interestingly enough, written by Al Kooper, or co-written by Al Kooper. John the Baptist, Holy John. I love this song. It's got religious overtones to it, and I am not a religious person, but I still love it. I loved it when I was a kid. I love it today. John the Baptist is a great song. Number 4. Sense a pattern? We're going back. We're going to be on this one for a while. Number 4. Spinning Wheel. I'm not sure whether Spinning Wheel or You've Made Me So Very Happy is their biggest hit. It's going to be one or the other. I haven't researched it because, frankly, I don't care. But it's going to be one of those two. You know Spinning Wheel. Everybody knows Spinning Wheel. Written by David Clayton Thomas. It's a great song. Number 4, Spinning Wheel. Number 3. Now, if we're thinking in terms of letter grades, like I do with my with the albums when I do album rankings, then up to this point we're in A territory. I mean, I Can't Quit Her. Okay, B minus to A plus, or B plus to A minus. But Lisa Listen to Me. That's a good solid A song. Right? These have all been good solid A songs. These last 3 we are in A plus territory. For number 3 we've got And When I Die, written by Laura Nyro. Wonderful song. The arrangement is a little hectic, a little chaotic, a little schizophrenic. There are some interesting turns as you go from verse to verse in this song, but it's still a wonderful song, and I can listen to it all day long and never be bored by it. I love And When I Die. But not as much as number 2, the old Billie Holiday classic, God Bless the Child. Oh, man, do I love this song. Oh, man. David Clayton Thomas, I think, has one of the great archetypal rock voices, right? He's up there in my top 5 of male rock singers. He's up there with Fred Turner from BTO, Brad Delp from Boston. I mean, there are just certain singers who are just, man, that's a rock singer. And David Clayton Thomas is in that group, and his rendition of God Bless the Child is just awe-inspiring. I love that song. But my number 1 song, my favorite song, hands down, this is not close. I love And When I Die and God Bless the Child. I think they're both A+ songs. But when it comes to the cream of the crop, the top of the list, the number 1, we're back to Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4, and we are talking about Redemption. Oh, Redemption. This song, if you're not familiar with it, you should be. Stop right now, put this video on pause, scroll up, search for Redemption, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, listen to it. It opens with a drum solo. Bobby Colomby just plays the shit out of this drum solo at the beginning. It's, oh man. And it jumps into this up-tempo, brilliant song. Redemption is one of these songs. It's like And When I Die. I can listen to it all day long, and every time I hear it, I find something new to pay attention to. I remember reading sometime long ago, and I've been trying for the past couple of days to track this factoid down. I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I will be honest, I haven't been looking super hard, and I have been drinking a lot of Schofferhofer. But I remember reading somewhere a long time ago that the main tracks, the drums, the bass, the rhythm track, the horns, the musical track here was done in a single take. I don't know if that's true or not. I like to think that it is. There are a couple of places in the end where we've got different solos going, different horn solos. There are a couple of places where Bobby Colomby starts to lose the thread of his beat a little bit with the fills that he's doing. He just kind of loses track of the downbeat on just in a couple of spots, and it's not like he skips or anything like that. It's just it's got a very good driving rhythm throughout until it gets to that point, and he starts doing different fills and different patterns, and in a couple of those loses track of the downbeat a little bit, and then picks it right back up. And that strikes me as the kind of thing that if it weren't done in a single take, it would have been redone. It would have been re-recorded. I don't know for a fact that it is true, but I like to think that they did Redemption in one take, because that just makes it that much more impressive to me. Redemption was written by David Clayton Thomas and Dick Halligan, who was horn player and organ player for the band. He played flute, May have played saxophone, not sure about that, but he also played keyboards. And it is, hands down, far and away, my favorite song by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And that's my Blood, Sweat, and Tears top 10. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. I always love having these conversations. As always, I thank you very much for sticking out this long. Please, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate clicking the like button. While you're there, I'd appreciate it if you'd also click the subscribe button. And if you're subscribing, then go ahead and click the notification icon. That makes a difference to the YouTube folks. I don't see why, but I don't question either. I go by what I'm told. So if you could click those, I would appreciate that. And again, thanks for watching the video, and I hope that the rest of your day is gratifying. See you soon.